I have a booty load of updates for you guys today. A ton. I guess we'll start with Earl. We'll start with Earl. Listen, I know you guys want to see Earl, right? I know you want to see Mr. Igubaba El Shishe Earl. Earl right now, I think, is sleeping under my bed, okay? And in the next hour or two, I'm getting his favorite treat, and we're gonna see if we can get him to wake up and come out. He's sleeping under my bed. I mean, he's underneath my bed right here. He's asleep, and I don't want to wake him up yet. And the reason why I don't want to wake him up, boys, he has had the most stressful fucking day ever. Let's start with this one first. A lot of you guys may or may not know that I, especially the past, I would say week, I've streamed a lot less. And the reason why I've been streaming a lot less is for while I was prepping for the Earl stuff, but most importantly, this fucking dog, right? The dog. You guys know about the dog, okay? This dog fucked me up pretty bad. It was very hard to sleep. I was probably sleeping 4 hours a day. And then in my free time, I wasn't able to like either record a video for recall that I needed to record, and I wasn't getting any peace. It was just non-stop barking. There was a big German Shepherd across right there where I could see him. Now my window is open, and I couldn't open the window. I couldn't open my blinds. You couldn't see the dog, and it was fucking me and Lust Boy up pretty bad. Especially me, because it was right in front of my door. And so that I did go down to the neighbor to talk to them, and the neighbor didn't really speak any English. Their son would answer the door, and he was wearing a fucking diaper 90% of the time. I would literally see him. I'd peek through my blinds. He'd run outside into the backyard with his diaper on, not wearing a shirt or anything. I swear to God, this kid was just wearing a diaper and nothing else. And he was fucking like throwing food at the dog. You could see him, dude. You could see this motherfucker throwing food at the dog, like. And the dog would jump at him, and you could tell he was terrified of the dog. You could see that he was scared of the fucking dog, you know? This dog would bark all
Hope you are
day
doing
from
well, my
6
man,
a.m.,
Kipashi.
5 a.m. He would bark at 1 a.m. because he'd be sitting outside in the kennel in the rain, and it's a small yard. And so I told my property manager about it. He said, you know, go talk to them first. I contacted OC Animal Services to see if there was something I could do, but I didn't really want to file anything because I didn't know what it would lead to, you know what I'm saying? And so this fucking dog was going crazy.
1 year Stoopzz didn't
And I was also worried
KDONK.
about getting
Thanks
a
for
cat
all the
too,
laughs
because if
and
this dog's just
entertainment.
non-stop fucking
Also,
barking all the
grats
time,
on
like
the
it's gonna
chunker
freak my
cat.
cat out too. And then I told him, I went to their door and I was like, hey man, can you do anything with the dogs? Like, we know. We're scared of him. They were basically, long story short, they told him that we're scared of him, and we know we're gonna put him in the garage. They didn't do that. He was barking like crazy. Yesterday morning, after I didn't know what to do, I was about to call OC Animal Care to come check it out or something, because it was fucked up, right? That same morning, I got a text from my manager saying, good news, Stoopzz. Good news, Oliver. The dog has been adopted. He's been, no more dog barking. He's been adopted. And I looked out my window and they were cleaning up all of the shit. There was no dog. Yesterday morning, I woke up, there was no more dog, and all of the stuff was gone. And I'm like, holy shit, he's gone. And I was so happy, but then I was also like worried about the dog. Well, good news, boys. The dog has a new home with a new family that's better fitted for him, with a bigger yard. And look at the doggo now, man. So the doggo now is no longer there, and he's with a new family in a bigger yard. And I can finally fucking sleep. Which it's a double W, right? Because it wasn't just the dog barking. I felt bad for the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt bad for him, but then I also couldn't sleep. It was so bad. And so now he's got a new family. Looks like they're really happy with him. And I asked for an update later on. He said he'd give me another one. But yeah, this is him in the new family. So this is the doggo that was in this. Look how big he is, dude. I mean, he's not huge. I think he's still like a year and a half old or something, or a year. But it's a German Shepherd. It's a big doggo, right? It's supposed to be a doggo that you like. It's active. It needs to be played with, and it needs a bigger yard if you're going to keep him outside. But I don't think they're keeping him outside. So That was the fucking fur. Yeah, it's high energy. Looks like a puppy still, right? And he's big still. And dude, I'm telling you, man, this yard is small. It's not a big motherfucking yard. So it's too small for the dog. And so he's gone. No more dog. I can finally open my fucking window without getting barked at. I can finally have my window open and I can finally sleep, which means I can finally have like energy to like be doing shit, and I don't have to worry about the barking when I'm like doing stuff, because sometimes I try to record a video and it was just barking, but it was a double W. New dog, dude, don't say that, bro. Don't. I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, so that was the first thing, and then I was preparing to go get my cat. And this cat thing is giving me a lot of anxiety because I'm just an anxious person when it comes to doing something like this. And honestly, rightfully so. This situation yesterday was fucking horrible, okay? I wake up early. I go to the bank. There's a bank that's supposed to be open next to me, right? Because, yeah, there's 2 banks actually that are open. I'm like, oh, I'll just go Saturday and get the cash for the pet. I go. Both bank branches are closed for operation services or some bullshit. And I'm like, fuck. So I call Chase to say, hey, can I withdraw? What's my withdrawal limit? And they're like, oh, don't worry. Your withdrawal limit is over like 2,000 something. I'm like, okay, that's what I need. I need to give cash to this lady. It's more than enough. I go down there, and for some reason, the card that I got isn't working. I don't know. And I'm like, it's not working or some bullshit. I don't know what the fuck. So I call her and I'm like kind of panicking, like, fuck, I'm gonna be late. I'm like sitting on this phone and I'm waiting in this I'm waiting on this, should be open on Saturday, close. I know, Axe Kick. I know. I don't know what the fuck was going on. And I'm calling this lady, and then I'm like sitting on the hold line, and then you're getting hit with that elevator music. Dun, 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 dun. And then after waiting 30 minutes, the motherfucker tells me, I get on, he's like, no, you're good. And then I go down to the bank, it doesn't work. So I call her and I tell her, hey, can we use like Zelle or something? And she's cool with that. She's like, okay, fine. So I get to the airport, right? I'm running a little bit late because I had to go to the bank, and then I was sitting on the phone. And when I get to the airport, my flight's delayed. And the last time I went on a flight, remember when I went to Vegas, my fucking flight got canceled, right? And this time I made sure to not book like fucking Spirit or some shit, you know? And the shitty part about my flight being delayed is not that I have to wait, but that I had a returning flight that was scheduled like that day. So if my flight was delayed, then I'm gonna miss my returning flight. So then I look, and it left me 45 minutes to get back, to get the cat, go through like the inspection, and also register the cat, and then get back. And I'm like, fuck, bro, that is not enough time. You know what I mean? And so I'm panicking kind of, right? Like I'm sitting there like, fuck, I need to get on this plane. And then when we get on the plane, there's like some problems with the plane and it taking off. And I'm like, dude, this is so fucking troll, man. Like I'm gonna miss this. Like I'm gonna miss the return flight. As we're like getting ready to leave though, I got a text, and this is giving me a fuckload of anxiety. But as I'm getting to leave, I got a text that the flight coming back was also delayed. So it gave me like an hour. So I'm like, all right, better. I have an hour now, like, but still very short, right? And so I'm getting on this plane, and then all these fucking, yeah, it's a W. And then all these fucking like, you know, people are talking like, oh my God, you're gonna go get a cat. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm anxious as fuck right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. They're like, it's so cute. Like, it's so cute. I can't, you know, like, do you want me to, maybe we can come see it with you, and like when you land, you know, are they coming to, I'm like, leave me alone, lady. You know what I'm saying? We get at the airport, and then she told me to meet her at like baggage claim. But for some reason, this is a very nice airport, Sacramento Airport. For some reason, this airport, in order to get to baggage claim, you have to take a train ride. And so I'm fucking, right? It's like Home Alone. I get off the plane, I'm like just F5ing all the way to this tram. You know what I mean? Like running, just sprinting to the tram. As soon as I get to the fucking thing, the train takes off. And I'm like, fuck. That's like, and of course, as soon as I get to the train, it goes, zoom. And so I have to wait for the next fucking train, right? And so then I'm waiting, and I get on this fucking train, yeah? I'm waiting, and then I get on it, and I get there. And I go outside and she's there with me, and during this whole time, I'm like really panicking because I've realized that now TSA makes you take the pet out of this bag, and I've never come into contact with this cat, and so I'm kind of like, fuck, dude. I'm thinking about all these terrible scenarios in my head where the cat's like fucking. Because I have to take him out of the bag, hold him, and go through the x-ray while they inspect my bag and put him in. And I'm just thinking about the worst possible scenarios, me grabbing and him just like fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like, and there's hella shit going on, you know what I mean? And it's like embarrassing, but also what if I lose the cat? And so when I get there, she pulls the cat out and he's terrified. I can see it. Like we're like, all these cars are driving past us and I'm sitting in this van. She's like, get in the van, get in the van. And it feels like we're doing like some kind of fucking drug deal or something. Like I'm sitting in the van and I've got like 25 minutes to get back on the fucking thing, And I'm like, fuck, right? And I've been waiting at the airport previously for an hour. So far, for this 1 hour flight, it's taking me 7 hours to get there. It's so fucked. I could have just drove, but I get there and she pulls him out of the bag, dude. And I'm like, holy fuck, he is so cute. As soon as I saw him though, I was like, all right, this was totally worth it. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get this motherfucker home. And I'm like, I was so like, it was like when I saw him, I'm like, fuck yes, this was worth it. Like, he's so cute. He's so fucking cute. I'm down. Like, I'm going to take care of this cat. You know what I mean? Like, somebody in my chat said this. It's like, you're going to be all worried about a bunch of shit, but as soon as you see him, you're going to be super happy. And it was exactly that. I saw him. I'm like, all right, like, I'm ready to do this. Just let me get home with the cat, please. And she's like, oh, but don't put your hand in there. He might scratch the shit out of you. Like, don't put your hand in there. Don't put your hand there. And she's putting on these fucking giant, like, turkey cutting gloves, dude. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this cat about to fuck me up or something? Like, it's okay if he scratches me. She's hella scared for me to touch the cat. I'm thinking, wait a minute, bro. I gotta take this motherfucker out of the bag when we go through TSA. Like, you know what I mean? What if he freaks out and they're like not cool with it? You know, I'm thinking like, holy shit. So she grabs him, puts him in my thing, and then she's like scanning the microchip, and she's doing I'm like, lady, I don't give a shit right now. I'm about to miss this flight. This cat's cute as fuck. Let me get the fuck out of here. I'll call you later. So I get him, but I can't run anymore. So I'm walking like this, all the way. And then and then as soon as I get in, the lady on the plane goes, oh my God, he looks like Puss in Boots. He looks like Puss in Boots. He's got the same eyes. Oh my God. Can I take a picture? I'm like F5ing, like, get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way right now. Like, I don't give a shit if you think he looks like Puss in Boots, man. And they're following me. And then, of course, dude, I have to go check him in to go, pay this thing and fill out this little thingy really quick with the flight. And then the lady over there's like the same thing. Oh my God, he's so cute. Look at his eyes. They're so big. Like, oh my God. I wanted one of these. I'm like, move the fuck out of my way. Like, you know what I mean? I put him on the thing, and I swear, I shit you not, dude. It was one of those things where, like, when I'm going to the elevator, there was like 3 people following me like to the elevator, and like they're outside the elevator and they're still talking to me, and the gates are going like shh, and it's closing, and we're going upstairs. You know what I mean? And I gotta get on this tram. But this time I saw the fucking train, right? Because I'm at baggage claim, so I have to get back on that same train that I missed. And I'm looking, and I have 25 minutes to go. And I'm like, fuck, dude. So I make it into the train this time, and I sit on the ledge, and I put my foot on the thing, because this thing was rocky as shit. And I'm looking at him, and he's curled up into a little ball. But he's not crying, he's not meowing, he's not doing anything. He's being a fucking good boy. He's being a good boy. And I was like, because I was thinking, dude, like, what if this motherfucker is loud, hella noisy? You know what I mean? That was like a huge fear of mine. Like, what if he's freaked out and he's just going to be crying and whining or whatever? But nothing. Just sitting there quietly. And we're going through this fucking crazy ass airport. I'm stressed up, but I'm trying to stay calm, yeah? I get off the train and I'm walking, and there's this fucking dude. Like, oh my God. Like, he looks like he's definitely one of the dudes that be spamming W's in the chat. Like, he was one of those. He's playing football in the middle of the airport with his boy, and he throws the ball, and I'm walking with this cat, and he catches it and bumps into me with my cat. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I got a cat here. I actually freaked out on him a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I felt bad. He's like, oh, sorry, cuz. And And I'm like I'm fucking trying to F5, dude. I was pissed. And I'm going through the airport trying to go as fast as I fucking could to get there. And I make it to the fucking airport, or I make it to my gate, and I see nobody there. And I ask them, oh my God, did I miss it? Did I miss my flight? Because I paid to like I had paid for like, it's free for all seating, but I paid to like go first so I could get them in a good spot. And when I get there, she goes, no, the flight's running a little delayed. And I'm like, holy fuck, man. Are you kidding me, dude? I fucking ran over there. I'm panicking. I went through all this shit. But I'm happy, but at the same time, the flight's running delayed. Okay? So I'm sitting there for another like 45 minutes, right? Waiting for this flight. Just classic, right? I was supposed to be home by now, but I'm waiting for this flight, yeah? The flight lands, and I'm getting there, and I'm like trying to figure out like where to put it. And their thing, I have to shove it like under the seat. So I'm like planning out my seat. And I'm sitting there, and of course, you know, there's these stoner girls that are coming from like, I don't know, they were at some convention in NorCal. They're like, oh my God, let me see this cat. Like, where did you get him? Like, I'm just picking him up for the first time. And they were faded in a hoe, dude. You could see it. Like, they smelled like weed. Do you want to give him a CBD gummy? We have some CBD gummies. I'm like, he's 6 months old. I don't think I'm gonna give him a CBD gummy. I think he's a little too young. I'm like, oh hell no. He's 6. I swear to God they said that. I swear to God they asked if I wanted to give him a CBD gummy for the flight. I'm like, no. He's 6 months old. You know, I don't want to give him anything. He's being good, not making any noise, not crying, not doing anything. Right? Then, when the flight finally gets there, the lady comes out and she's like, all passengers boarding plane, you know, plane 19B. There happens to be another delay. Somebody puked on the plane, essentially. So we're going to have to clean up the seats and replace the seatbelts. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? Yo, Mr. B-Beam-Bop, thanks for the fucking tier 1 7 months. Somebody puked on the fucking plane. So I'm sitting there like, ain't no goddamn way I'm waiting longer, man. He puked on the goddamn plane. It was Southwest. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? No, it was Southwest. So I'm sitting there like, dude, like, this is so awful, man. And so then now I'm fucking just ultra mad, right? Eventually we get into the plane, and you can literally see they put cardboard over the front seats. And I wanted to sit towards the front because then I could get off the plane easy. So if I want to sit towards the front, there's cardboards all over the seat, like don't sit. And so I'm sitting behind like one of these pukey seats, and I get in there really quickly, and I put Mr. Earl under the seat, and I tuck him, and then you can see him like move from the back towards me. You know what I mean? And he's sitting towards me, and I'm kind of like just giving him a little rub through the thing. And then this lady, I missed the most important part. When I was going through security, I didn't tell you the security experience. I forgot about this. This is where the universe was on my side. When I got to the security, I was hella nervous I was gonna miss it, right? And when I got to the security, I was like, fuck, I asked the lady, do I have to take this cat out of the bag? I'm kind of worried. Am I gonna miss my flight? I told him it's gonna be late. And then there was some lady, she's like, oh my God, I love animals. Is that a cat? I'm like, yeah, I just picked him up. She's like, everyone move aside. He's gonna miss his flight with the cat. Everyone move aside. And I'm like, yeah, man, you can cut in front of me. So everyone let me cut through the entire line. I didn't tell you this. I didn't tell you this part. I'm panicking. I'm gonna miss it. And this fucking lady is like, she was like, fucking, you gotta move aside. You gotta move aside. It's like, yeah, you can come through. And everyone's letting me all the way to the front of the TSA line. And I'm like, yes. Fuck yes, lady, let's go. So I'm moving through the thing, and then I get there. This is the best part of the story. How did I miss this? I get to the front of the TSA line. I tell them, do I have to take him out of the bag? Because if I do, I don't know if he's gonna fuck me up. And she's like, we can go to a separate room. We can do private screening. So they take me into this room, and I walk into the room with this guy, and this girl, honestly, she was super hot. So I'm sitting there with this girl, and she was really pretty. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her. I'm like, God damn, she's pretty. She's fucking hot. This is like, and I'm just sitting in this small room. And I'm talking about my experience with the cat. And, you know, and then I'm talking about, she's like, I'm like, yeah, he's so cute though. It's like, yeah, he's really cute. And we're just sitting there. She's like, do you have any treats for him? I'm like, no. Literally 3 minutes go by and I'm just sitting there like, fuck, I'm kind of nervous to take him out of the bag, you know? And in my head, I'm thinking we're waiting for someone to come in because we're just standing there, like, right? No one's like, yo, okay, all right, take him out of the bag now. We're just standing there. 3 or 4 minutes go by. She's like, so when are you gonna take him out of the bag? I'm like, what do you mean? Wait, you want me? Okay, I didn't know, man. So I'm just standing in this room with this girl just staring. I didn't know. I thought someone else was gonna come in. You know what I'm saying? I thought someone else. You know what I mean? No one said anything, dude. No one said anything. It was awkward as hell, man. I didn't fucking know. I'm like, well, shit, lady. If you want me to take it on the bag, just say something. We're just sitting there. I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I put on the motherfucking turkey gloves. I open up the bag, but she's fucking Papija too. She's just sitting there, like, it's clear that I need her help to take it. So I grab his front arms, I grab the little mane of his back, and I pull him up. She grabs the bag hella fast, searches it, comes back in, and I'm like, can you position it? We put the cat back in. He's shaking though when I'm doing this. I felt so bad. But at least it's better than being in the line and fucking doing it, right? With all the little scanners and shit like that and people. At least it's like, at least we're in a private room. So it was a W move. I get out, put it back in the bag, I get out, and then I F5'd into the guy that was like, hey, cuz, in the football. So that's how I got there. I don't know how I missed that part of the story, but yeah, so then I get on the plane, I put him underneath, and this lady sits down next to me, and she's like, is anyone sitting here? I'm like, no. And fortunately, the plane wasn't full. So the universe has been on my side now. It's like, except the A-cuz thing and the puke thing, I made it. At least I didn't miss my flight, right? Because it was delayed. Even though someone puked in the plane, at least I got on. So lady sits on, and it's not a full plane ride, which means there's no one in the middle. The lady asked to occupy her ship, but I asked her, I said, are you allergic to cats? And she looks over, and she goes, yeah. I'm like, well, I have a cat in here. She's like, okay. She like kind of gave me like a dirty look, but then she was okay with it, and I'm sitting there with the cat, right? And then about halfway through the flight, the lady looks over, she comes to me, she's like, your cat looks like Puss in Boots. the same motherfucking thing that the last person told me. Your cat looks like Puss in Boots. And I was like, oh my God. But at this point, man, I'm so fucking happy, boys. You know what I mean? I'm so happy. I actually at some point reached over and I started petting him kind of through the little like ventilation thing. And he's coming towards my arm and he's not meowing. I'm like trying to control the bag because you know when you're taking off and shit like that, it rumbles a lot. The plane ride was good. There was no turbulence. I was worried about that for him. He was good there. Didn't poop, didn't pee, didn't puke, nothing. And then when I was petting him through the thing, you could kind of hear, you could like feel him like purring a little bit, probably because he's nervous. I don't know, but he was at least comfortable enough to. And so I was so happy, dude. Right? So fucking happy. I get off the plane, instantly get to my motherfucking car parked in the lot. I put him in, dude. And I'm just sitting in my car, dude. I'm just sitting in my car, dude. I'm singing this motherfucking song, boys. I'm so happy. You have no idea. I swear to God, I'm just singing this out loud. And I'm so fucking happy, man. I made it through the most fucked up, like, adventure getting there. It was so stressful. Honestly, you know all the anxiety I had before? It was just it all came out. But, like, we did it. Like, I wasn't, like, fucking panicking. I just really wanted to make sure nothing happened. Because when I looked, there was no returning flight that night. So when I was sitting in the airport, dude, I was looking, there was no returning flight that night. So I started looking at hotels when I was using the plane Wi-Fi. And I was looking at local Walmarts to see if I could get a litter box. And I was looking at hotels to see where I could stay for the night if I didn't catch my returning flight. Because that airport's kind of smaller. So there was like some ones that you go somewhere else and come back, but there was no returning flight that night. So I was really worried I wasn't going to make it. And yeah, I fucking made it. I got home. And I opened up the bag, boys, and this is him. This is him realizing that he's home. But he doesn't want to leave the bag. And I just let him sit in the bag for a while.
When you play tag, you stay at home base.
Yeah, he's so cute, isn't he? He's so cute, isn't he, man? Look at him. Look how handsome he is, man. Look how fucking handsome he is. He looks like Puss in Boots. Yeah, he does. He does, man. He does look like Puss in Boots. He's a British short hair or a maple cat. Saint told me you were conflicted on the name. Is it going to be Earl or Mr. Igubaba? My last cat's name was Garfield, okay? Then I started calling him Mr. Kiddums when I got excited. I would go like, Mr. Kiddums! I would always do that. That's what I would do. And then it would just turn into like, Bo Biddums! Like, that's what I would do. Like, it just turns into... So the name, he's probably going to have some weird-ass name that I'm just going to have for him. That's what I used to do. So I don't know. I think, like, I like Earl a lot. But Mr. Igubaba is good because you could just say Igu. It's really easy. Or Baba. It's, like, really fast. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to have, like, some little nickname for him. So I don't know if it's going to be Earl... Or maybe that'll just be like the name that you guys call him, or I don't know. Like Earl, like it just doesn't sound as like cute to me when I want to say it, you know? So we'll see. It's either gonna be Earl or Mr. Igubaba on his tag, and then I'll probably just end up calling him something like a short nickname. That's just what I always do with, like that's what I've always done.